Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Girls Problem. Who's got 'em? Me, I got 'em. I'm your host Serena, and today's topic is going to be about a conversation that we girlies have, and we don't talk about it, but we don't talk about it even with our parents, not even our moms, our siblings, our friends. But when it does happen, we understand. Like we're like, okay. And that topic is gonna be, drum roll please, is gonna be periods. Alright. Alright. So I feel like the first time girls have their periods, before they even have their periods, it's like that word is like weird. First of all, let's talk about how it's weird. I don't know if it's just me, but even with my friends, like when we were friends, we never used to have that conversation. We never used to like even pronounce the word. We used to be we used to be like periods, like ugh. Like it's just like ew, girl, don't say that. It's weird. So that word is like weird. And it's like that topic, nobody talks about it. Like, and I feel like obviously it should be something that should be talked about and should be like a lot of people should be educated about, not only the girlies, the boys too. Before I used to be like, boys don't need to know about girl stuff, you dig what I'm saying? But now, yeah, yeah, the boys are just so they don't know nothing about it, and I feel like they should because later in life they will have female children, and I feel like that responsibility shouldn't only be on the mom because some people end up to be single fathers. Okay, so who really is gonna teach your daughter about that if not you? Exactly. So I feel like it's just weird. It was weird saying the word, but obviously, as I got older, I started saying it like it's just like normal. Especially now, Gen Z season that period became like popular and stuff. It's now like a lot more easier to say it. And also, I feel like we have different words for it. Some people say seeing your moon. Oh my God, I hate that. I hate that. Oh my universe. I hate that seeing your moon, something like that. And I also hate um I also hate when we say menstruation. Yeah, disgusting. What the freak is that? What is that? What is this guy? What is menstruation? That's really weird. Obviously now it's normal for me to say it, but then I used to want to like puke on myself even hearing the word. So not only it's like an awkward conversation, it's also awkward to like say it. I don't know why, but it just is. But I feel like as we girlies get older, it's like normal to say it. And obviously, when I had my, well, okay. Let's talk about first of all when I had my first period experience. Um, I remember I was before I had it, I used to see like there was this one girl that came to stay with us at one time in our life. She came to our house and she was living with us, and she was older. She was like between the age of 17 and up. So I used to see her take, put something on her panties, obviously like pads. You put it on your panties and you put it on. Okay, no awkward conversation here. Okay. So, we I used to see her like she used to put the pad on her panties, and I'm like, what is that? I never knew about it. My mother never taught me anything about periods. My sister, I didn't even think my sister knew what that was. Maybe she did. She just didn't want to take. Again, it's an awkward conversation. So I used to wonder what that was, and I never knew it. So fast forward to when I was like 12 years old. Um, my sister was already having a period. She already started getting her period, but I wasn't. But when I turned 12, y'all, one day I was feeling weird. Like I was just pooping too much. My back was hurting. I was just feeling weird. I mean, I'm a lazy girl. I mean, I don't like saying I'm lazy. I just like saying I'm the type of girly that like rests a lot. Okay, maybe I'm a lazy girl. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I just felt extra tired. Normally, I always feel tired. But I just felt extra tired that day. I was feeling weird. And I started feeling like something was coming down my, area, my private part. Um, and I was like, what's that? So I went into the bathroom. I thought, okay, let me just take a poo. Maybe I just want to poo. And it felt like I wanted to poo too. So I went into the bathroom. I was putting on like white trousers. So I took it off and I was like, what the freak? I saw like red stuff on my fucking oh, sorry for the word. Sorry. But I saw red, stains on my white trousers. I was like, uh-oh. I wasn't even scared, to be honest. I was not scared. I was just like, uh-oh. So I cleaned myself up. I went outside to the kitchen and I told my sister, I was like, you know, that stuff that's always like happening to you. And she was like, what stuff? And I was like, that stuff that's always like coming out of your private area that's red. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, it just happened to me. She said, she was like, you're lying. I was like, no. I told her, come see. Went into the bathroom. She saw it and she was like, uh-oh. And that time was the time where we just lost our grandmother. Rest in peace. My mom was really, she was crying and stuff like that. It was sad in the house. So my sister told me everything I need to use. Told me got to start using pad. And she went to tell my mom. My mom was still crying. She was just like, okay, whatever, because she was sad. So, I was bummed out, to be honest. How I felt. If you're wondering, I was bummed out because now it was like I was already having growing titties. And I was sad that I was growing boobs because then I cannot start playing with my brothers the way I used to play with them. Like everybody's like, you cannot play, you can't be rough, you have to cover your legs, you have to do all that extra stuff. And I hated it with passion. I hated it. And I always used to be bummed out. And me just like finding out that, all right, guys, sorry for the inconvenience. But anyways, I was bummed out because it was like now I have to start like being mindful of what I do and stuff like that. And now I have to start bleeding once a freaking month. It's terrible. And I hate stressful stuff. And periods are so stressful. I don't know for the girlies, but for me, it's very freaking stressful. So, yeah, that was my first experience having period. And I just felt so bummed out. But you know how some people used to be like, I cried. I thought like, some people say they think, some girlies are like, they think, oh, they got injured in their private area. I wasn't even like that. I was just like chill about it, but I was bummed out. So, okay, let's talk about my first experience getting my period in public. Oh, universe, please. It was terrible. First of all, I was in school and I don't, you know how some girlies count their periods? I don't. Till this day, because I have like a weird period schedule and it's hard to count it because sometimes my period comes like this month and I don't see my period for like 2 months later. Don't worry, I'm not pregnant, okay? I don't even. Okay. So don't even think about it. But I went to the doctor once and they were like, because I have like the doctor was like, my weight is too low for my age. So that's why I have like I need to eat more, I need to, do those. It's just annoying. But anyways, so I cannot really count my period. So and it was just new to me. Periods and all the stuff was new. So I went to school. Did you notice I said school? Yeah, it happened at school. So I didn't know I was gonna have my period that day. Although I was feeling weird, but I'm a chill kind of person. I didn't care. I didn't really pay attention to me feeling weird. I just went to school and I was chill. I had no pads on, nothing. I didn't even bring none to school. And my school don't have sanitary pads, which is very, very weird and it's rude to girls. I feel like all schools should have sanitary pads and stuff like that. But that's another conversation. So I went to school and I was like, I was just playing around, doing little things. Times was having a bit of function in the school. So this one girl, she wasn't in my class. She was a senior, and she was like, "Oh, what's that on Serena's skirt?" Because we was put it on, top and skirt, whatever, school uniform. And I turned around. My sister just looked at me because my sister knew. She knew I do not take care of those kind of things. I don't care. So she was like, she looked at me, and I was like, it was like a red. I don't even know why the girl was looking at me up to my bum. Because what are you looking at me up to my bum for? Because that's how you would notice if you're looking at somebody's bum. So I was like, oh, um, she was like, what's that on your skirt? I said, oh no, I sat on a red chair, so the material from the chair kind of like stained me. It was weird. Everybody was just staring at me like, what? What? Like, they were staring at me like, we sat on that chair too. How come nobody got stained? Just you. Whatever, whatever. So my sister was like looking at me, and I ran to the bathroom and I checked my panties. I was like, God damn, God damn. Why does it have to be me? So my friend at that time, she's so freaking nosy. She ran to the bathroom with me and she was like, oh, Serena, are you okay? Are you okay? She tried to push the door to get into the bathroom. I'm like, to get into the toilet. I was like, girl, go back. Stop. Dramatic. Dramatic much. So I was like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. She was like, are you starting your up? Like, have you started your period? I was like, girl, no, no. I didn't want nobody to know that I started my period because it's none of your business. So I came out. I was like, no, I just sat on the chair. Again, back to me saying we don't like talking about it. But thank the universe. You know how the first day of your period is not that heavy? To me, the first day of my period is not always heavy. It's like from the second because my period lasts for like 4 days. Thank the universe. Some people's period lasts till a week. So that was my first experience, you know, having that experience in school. I just put some tissues on my, yes, please don't judge me. I put toilet tissues on my, on my panties and I went about my day till I got home. Okay? Don't judge. Girl problems. Who's got them? Me. I got them. Okay. So let's get into another segment. Let's talk about how having your periods talk with your parents are. I cannot relate to that. So y'all could drop a comment how it was, and maybe you could DM me on Instagram, and I would read your stories out on the podcast, okay? So I cannot tell you that because I never had a conversation about my period with my mom. It was my sister that she didn't even have a conversation with me. She was just like, okay, every time you have a period, you just have to. She didn't even say period. She said, you, every time that stuff comes out, you have to like use pads and make sure you wash yourself. I guess that's kind of a period talk because she told me make sure you change it, wash yourself, and be mindful of what you do. Blah 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 blah. So it wasn't really like a conversation. She was just giving me a description. She told me how to use the pads and stuff like that. Yeah. So I can't really talk about that because I didn't really experience it. Okay, so another segment. Let's talk about how um to use different pads because different pads, I feel like pads have so much chemicals in it and it's so bad that um it like you're putting it in your private part, your vagina. You understand? So that's not something that needs so much chemicals. I don't know how they make pads. Probably we'll go Google it after this, but I feel like it needs to be more natural. And um they're like different pads and different sizes. So let me tell you on my own. This is like girly stuff, girl diary. Let me tell you my own. Y'all can also comment down below to tell me the kind of pads you prefer using. So the kind of pads I prefer, I tried always, didn't really like it. It gave me like a lot of bumps, and I had some situation down there. I don't like always. That's the only one. I used other ones, but I cannot really remember their names. But I know the sizes has to be for me. I don't like short pads. I don't know which girl or what girl on this planet Earth that likes using short pads. Like, what the freak? Okay, if you use short pads, you're not a freak. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I like long pads and wide. That's what I like using. Um, some people use panty liners. I don't know. And some people use tampons. I've never tried tampons. I wanted to, but as always, TikTok told me, Mr. TikTok, or should I call him Mrs. TikTok, told me, you could actually get more infection. And um, it was this one woman that her leg got caught off. Like she had to go in for surgery to like amputate her leg because she was using pad. Long story, but it scared me. It was scary. So I don't really like using. Even my mom was like, "No, tampons is dangerous." So I prefer using pads. And again, I feel like we girlies, we have like um panties for whenever we're on our periods. If you don't, you have to, girl. You have to. I don't wear panties a lot. Not that that's important, but we should have like panties for when we're on our periods and outfits for when we're on our periods. When I'm on my period, I just like um having on like a bogus t-shirt or bogus trousers. I don't like anything to fit me. I just want to be comfortable because I'm always, always, always tired. And also, I feel like symptoms. Okay, let's talk about symptoms or you're having, well, not really symptoms, signs that you're about to have your period. Okay, mine really changed when I was like from 12 to 16. My period signs were um my titties get big, my bum bum get big, I have like diarrhea, and my back hurts so freaking bad. But now that I'm 17, I get my titties big, bum bum big. I get heavy headaches, pains, and just like a little diarrhea. So it changes. So not all girls have the same symptoms. Some symptoms are worse. Some symptoms are like crazy. And I feel like I'm part of those girlies who just are calm with it. I don't know. I don't like people to know that I'm on my period. So I don't make so much, even though I go through a lot of pains, but I don't make it obvious that I'm on my period. I just keep it to myself and just fall asleep. But I've noticed my sister, she's like turning on the bed. She's upset. Me, I get upset. True. Normally, when I'm not on my period, I get mood swings, heavy mood swings. Then when I'm on my period, my mood swings go up to like 100. But I don't like it to be noticeable. I don't know why. I just like to keep it to myself. Sometimes nobody knows that I'm on my period, and I like it because don't be my business, okay? Thank you. Um, you can comment down below your signs that you're about to have your periods. You understand? Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be like the last topic, then we can end this segment because this conversation was really, really long. Okay, so I feel like people feel like girls have like the same symptoms when they're on their periods, and I don't really think that's the point. That's like girls don't really have the same symptoms. Some people can be like, some people have worse. Some people, some girlies, their symptoms are like crazy. They be rolling and stuff like that. But some girlies, they don't. It's not really too much. Some girlies don't even have pains. So yeah, and also I feel like schools should have sanitary pads for girls, and I feel like stores and shops should have free sanitary pads. I feel like girls shouldn't be paying for that. It should just be free, and I feel like we should have healthy sanitary pads because we're putting that on our private area, and it needs to be natural. Natural, okay? Don't put none of them chemicals in that blood clot things, okay? All right. Thank you for listening. If you stay to the end, you're an OG. Comment down below if you stay to the end. And if y'all want a part two, we could talk more on periods. You can DM me, you can drop the comment below, more conversations you want me to have, and more topics on periods and stuff like that. Okay. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, I'm your host, Serena, and closing in on your favorite podcast, Girls Problems. Who's got 'em? Me, I got 'em. See you next time. Mwah.